Hello, everybody. Happy snowy Thursday to you, or maybe it's more sunshiny where you are. Today I'm going to be talking all about the brand new 2023 to 2025 in colors. So it's going to be a lot of fun. My name is Lori DeGroot from Lorita Marie Crafts, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Calgary, Alberta. And I come live on Thursdays every week so that I can share fun tips and techniques and ideas with you so you can take your lovely paper crafting supplies and turn them into beautiful projects that you can then share with others, which is all the fun of it, right? So like I said, we're going to be talking about more brand new colors. So if you joined me last week, or you can catch the replay if you missed it, but last week we talked all about the brand new core colors that Stampin' Up! Released. There's 11 brand new colors coming out with the new catalog, which begins on May the 2nd. So here's the front of the catalog. So it begins May the 2nd. And if you don't have one yet, just let me know. If you live in Canada, I would love to send you one in the mail. So you can just request this here. They've been arriving in people's mailboxes this week, so it's been a lot of fun. Yes, so there's brand new colors, but every year there's always brand new in colors. So in colors are a group of 5 colors that come in for a 2-year period. And so then they just kind of give a fresh life to the color collection. They're fun to kind of mix and match with all our regular core colors. They're usually, say, maybe a little bit more trendy or something like this that we can use for a couple years and then they retire. So they're always a lot of fun. And last year's that were introduced are really bright, bold, vibrant. And so these 5 are much more toned down, kind of earthy. I'm calling them earthy and natural. And they're beautiful in their own regard. So it's going to be fun to help you find your favorites. And of course, all the fun about this catalog is that it begins 2 weeks out? But I'm having a catalog launch party to celebrate, a colorful catalog launch party, because it's all about the colors. And the whole point is that I want to help you play with all the brand new colors. So you're going to get to use new products. You can play with the colors if you have them, if you're out of town. And it's going to be great. So there's a local version. I'm going to pop a link here in the comments so that you can get all the details if you haven't heard about it yet. And you can come to the local event where I'm also having a garage sale. Okay, so, retired products galore. I haven't done this for a few years, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And obviously you get to play with all my stuff, and we're going to have a tea party, and it's going to be awesome. If you are out of town or can't make it to my local event, I have an out-of-town party packet option. So you definitely don't have to miss out on all the fun. I will be sending you the supplies to do 4 make and takes, a little thank you in there. So that's really awesome. I have 2 add-ons that I just want to mention briefly because they're cute. One is a color coach. So this is something that Stampin' Up! Releases all the time. It's available all the time, so demonstrators can offer it to you. But it's like color combination ideas. So if you struggle with figuring out what color goes with which color, the color coach is great. So you see you've got every single color, and then they give you 3 options. And so there's a brand new updated version out this year to incorporate all the new colors. So this is an add-on. You would get this on a ring, just kind of like this. I do this as easy, right? You want it to be easy to quickly flip through and look at. And then this year, I thought that it would also be fun to offer a cardstock sampler. So with all the new colors, maybe you just want a sampling of all the cardstock colors to see what you like or how things go together. And so look at this little cute thing that we've been designing. And so you're going to get every single one. They're also going to be labeled. This is the prototype, so it's not labeled yet. But they're also going to be labeled so that you know exactly what color it is. And this is one of the add-ons too. So click the link to find out all the details about the catalog launch party and all the fun that we're going to have. And you don't want to miss out. Today is the very last day to sign up. So that's why I'm going on about it. All right. Let's get to our projects today and talking about all the new colors. So let's go down here. All right. So let us start with introducing the 5 colors. And you can tell me if you've got a favorite. I always like to see what everyone is drawn to. We're all kind of drawn to different colors, right? So those are very fun. So there's boho blue, copper clay, Trying to get the reflection of my light in there. Moody Mauve, Pebbled Path, and Wild Wheat. So these are the 5 colors. And now I want to just, I want to show them off in a whole bunch of different ways today. So you're going to get a feel for all 5 for sure. So here I wanted to show you them all stamped. First of all, you're going to see them again, but this is what every color looks like stamped. So you can kind of get an idea for how it looks. So how I find colors, you know, how they look in the cardstock versus the DSP ribbon. I mean, they're all so close, but if not just slightly different. And so it's nice to see how they ink up. So here you can see, yeah, Pebble Path is a pretty gray, isn't it? So I'm going to show you all the cardstock. And this is exactly what I did last week too. So again, if you missed last week's, you're going to want to go back and check it out for all the in colors, or all the new colors, sorry. But I want to show you the cardstock, and then I'm going to show you how it compares with some previous colors or current colors from Stampin' Up. Now, I've only been a demonstrator, you know, for so long, so I don't have access to all the colors that Stampin' Up's ever had, but it just gives you an idea of kind of where it goes. So here's the first one. So we've got Boho Blue. Really nice, right? And I was trying to find some comparisons here. So this is Balmy Blue, which is a subtle that we have right now. But you can see it's completely different color, isn't it? And then a couple years ago was an in color called, and I keep forgetting the name of it, Seaside Spray, which was a really light blue. So you can see it's got the same kind of tone as that one, but it's a darker color. So that is Boho Blue. Let's move that out of the way. And then the next one is Copper Clay. And this is a really pretty color. And I was going to compare it to Cajun Craze, but I don't have that out at the moment. But here's Cinnamon Cider, which was an in color for a few years ago. And so you can see it's got that same red tone into it, but it's a bit darker. And then this is Soft Suede, which is completely different. So it's not really brown. It's very true to its name, Copper Clay. That's like the best way to describe it. That's that one. And then we've got Moody Mauve, which I have been making lots of cards this week. Lots and lots and lots of cards. And I have really fallen in love with Moody Mauve. It's such a pretty color. So here is Moody Mauve. And you're going to want to see this one in person. There, that looks a little better. It looks a bit dark when it's down here. So don't have too much to compare it to, but you can see the kind of the color family that it's in. So this is Merry Merlot, so that's a lot darker, and this was Rich Razzleberry. So these are both retiring colors. But it's, you know, you can tell it's in the purple family. The closest thing that I had was this was an in color from a few years ago called Rococo Rose. And so you can see it's got that same kind of dusty tone to it, but it's really pretty. Oh, here's the stamp pad again. Moody Mauve. Okay, so then we have Pebbled Path, which is a lovely kind of warm gray. And then so that's Sahara Sand. So you can see it's much darker. And then Smoky Slate. So these are the other grays we have right now. So this is Smoky Slate. This is Gray Granite. And this is Basic Gray. So it's dark like Basic Gray, but a completely different tone. So it's definitely got its own vibe. And yeah, it's really nice. I think, you know, it's going to be one of those colors that goes with everything. You're going to love it. Okay, and lastly, we have Wild Wheat. Okay, so Wild Wheat is kind of a fun color. And I didn't have anything that looked even close to this color. So it is not yellow. It definitely is pulling really green, right? So here's a yellow, right? This is Bumblebee, which was an in color. So it's kind of rich tone, but it's definitely pulling green. You might think it was like to the mustard family, maybe a little bit. My sister said there was a color called more mustard or something like that, but I don't have any of it, so I can't compare for you. But so again, this is a really unique color, and this is what's kind of fun about the in colors is that they're very different than anything else that Stampin' Up has. So it's going to just fill this niche kind of some fun different ways to use color. So those are all the colors. So I don't know if anything's jumping out at you yet. Today I'm going to be showing you 5 cards. Oh, I know what I was going to do. But I really want you to get a feel for these colors first. So wild wheat. Let's do some color combos. Maybe you're wondering, what in the world do I want to put with this color? Look how pretty this looks. Okay, this is Lost Lagoon and Petal Pink. So this is what a color coach is going to do for you. It's going to help you decide what colors to go together. And I am standing by my statement that Lost Lagoon can look good with almost every single color because this looks so good. So that's a pretty color combination. Pebbled Path, like I said, it's going to look good with whatever you put. Look at same colors. That looks awesome. Add in Moody Mauve. That looks amazing. So you're going to have lots and lots of things that's going to go with. Was it these ones that went? No. I think these ones, Orchid Oasis, Fresh Freesia, and Pebbled Path. Those are really pretty. I grabbed a few different colors. Now I'm getting everything mixed up here. Moody Mauve. You know, oh, I didn't grab one from Moody Mauve. This looks good with everything. I don't think you're going to have any trouble putting that with different colors. Here's a fun one. Copper Clay with Crushed Curry and Blueberry Bushel. That looks awesome together. Blackberry Bliss and Old Olive and Boho Blue, or or Copper Clay or Moody Mauve. They all look good together. So I don't think you're going to have any trouble pairing these 5 colors up with Stampin' Up's existing colors, which is really nice. All right, so here is the DSP. So Stampin' Up has DSP and these 6x6 paper stacks in every color family. So you are definitely going to want to put this on your wish list. So you can get them in both sets of in colors, in the subtles, regals, neutrals, and brights. And then you've got DSP in every color, which is really awesome. And there's 4 designs. So here's one. Here's 2 designs, and then here's the other one where it's a bit more white. Ooh, it looks busy when it's paired together like that. So this is the paper I'm going to be using today. So I'm going to show you a card in every color, but I'm only going to be making 2 live here today. So let's get to some creating. You've been bearing with me well, but I just really wanted to share kind of all about the colors today. So I'm going to make one in Moody Mauve because it's my fave. So I thought I would make one in here. So I've just got a basic white card base, and then I'm going to be using this DSP with the polka dots. And I'm going to cut it to my paper trimmer here, 3 3/4 by 5. And I like cutting to this size so you get a more white border on your card. It's actually my new favorite size. So you can cut to 4 by 5 1/4, which gives you a smaller mat, but sometimes I like that bigger border around my DSP. So that's easy. This is the DSP, and we're going to just go ahead and grab some seal and put this on our card. So let's go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to be showing you a couple different products you can get in all the in colors. So this year, this is the ribbon that you can get in every color. So this is the Moody Mauve, but you can get this in every color. So it's called just textured ribbon. And so I'm just going to cut a strip here so it's the size of the card. So that's about, 4 1/4 inches. And then the best way to put ribbon on a card is with glue dots or tear and tape. So because I have a nice long strip, it's easy for me to put some tear and tape on there. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we're going to do some embossing. So I'm using today a couple things that are current so that you can see some things that you can purchase before the month's out. So these are continuing on. So they're current now, but they're also going on to the next catalog. So these are the All That dies, which I love, love, love. They're so great to have some fun label shapes here in these cute little banners. And I'm also going to be using the natural prints bundle. So it won't be bundled anymore in the new catalog, but they're still continuing on. So Nature's Prints stamp set and natural prints dies. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to do hello there. And we're going to do some embossing. And so I have already cut this out. Let me show you in this shape here. So it's kind of a fun, it's got like a scalloped edge and it's embossed and it's really pretty. So let's grab our embossing kit. And if you don't have embossing stuff, then you can always just cut out on lighter cardstock or on white cardstock. You can use your embossing buddy here if you want. And then just stamp in the color or stamp in black. Work with whatever you've got. But embossing is my fave. And if I can emboss my sentiment, I'm going to do it. So here's the little embossing additions toolkit here. And I'm just going to tap that off. It comes with a little tweezer and a little paintbrush to get the excess off. And then what you need to get extra, I guess, are your Versamark ink pad. Just looking for my tweezers. Excuse my arm here. You need the ink pad and you need the embossing powders. And Stampin' Up's got two collections of embossing powders. So basics and like metallics. So this, look it just helps you hold it so you don't burn your fingers off. And then you need the heat tool, and we're just gonna, it's got two settings. We're going to number 2. And you just go over it until it changes color. Once it heats up, it's gonna go fast. So it's an awesome way to use cardstock for your sentiments. And get that pop of white. I love that. Okay, so there's this. And then I've already stamped out, let me see what I'm looking for here. So I've stamped out this flower and cut it out. It's got a coordinating die to cut it out. So I've already gone ahead and done that in Moody Mauve, right? So I'm just using everything in one color. And then if you wanted to add a little color to it, you got the ink pad. Open it up. And you can grab a block or something and just get some color on your block. And then you can watercolor it with the watercolor brushes. Or if you've got the Wink of Stella, I think unfortunately it's back ordered at the moment. But the Wink of Stella can act like a watercolor brush, and mine actually needs to be replaced. So just bear with me as I'm see if I can stretch it out today. But it's all backward, but it's really fun way to get color onto your image, and it adds sparkle, right? So this basically like a fun glitter pen that you can add glitter to your projects, and you can do it now in any color, right? So that's just a fun way to add a little bit of color, and then you just kind of brush off the tip until you don't see any more color to clean it off, and then it's ready for the next time that you want to use it. So we've got that. So all we're going to do now is put some dimensionals on the back of our sentiment. So these are easy cards, and you can recreate them in your favorite new in color. We're just going to put that there. And then I'm just going to add my flower on the side. So I might do a combination here. You can use the mini dimensionals. You can even cut. I think if you need it to be a little skinnier, I'm just going to trim off a little bit of my dimensional to kind of use it down there. And then it's going to layer up. Just so, looks so cute. And then you can just add a couple other details. So I'm just going to grab some white twine. So in the annual catalog is the basics twine kit, and you get like 5 basic colors. So that's great, like white, black, crumb cake, gray. I always miss one. Vanilla, that's it. So basically I'm just tying a little bow and then just trim my tails a little bit. And then I usually just use a glue dot. Stick the knot in the dot. I'm not trying to rhyme. Okay, and then I'm just going to put that there. So it's already looking so cute. There's also going to be available in color dots. You got to have embellishments. So let's show you those. Look how fun these are. Right, so you've got 3 sizes. So in all 5 colors. And I'm just going to go ahead with my matching colors. And you can use take your pick tool if embellishments are always hard for you to get off. Just picks it up for you with its sticky end. And then I'm going to add 1 in each size. And because they're polka dots on my card, I'm going to go a little off the dots there as opposed to trying to match up with the circles. So let's fold this up and see how it's looking here. And then we've got 1 more to do. And then I'm going to show you the set of all 5. So you definitely want to stick around to see how all 5 colors look. And so there's the first one. So cute. All right, so let's go to the second one. And I couldn't decide which color that I wanted to do to show you. And because they were all lovely. But I'm going to do copper clay. I thought that one would be fun to show. So I've got my same card base, and it's going to be similar but different. So I'm going to use the same stamp set, the same kind of look, but just show you how you can make a set of note cards just by changing a few different things. So it's like they all go together, but they're not exactly all matchy-matchy. So I'm using the stripes this time, so any of the patterns would be fun. And I've cut it the same, 3 3/4 by 5. And we'll just go ahead and put that on. Something like that. And we're going to do some more embossing and some stamping. So I've cut this out, this label. So this was from the All That Dies as well. So again, these are so pretty, and they've got like an embossed detail on them, which is lovely. So we're going to stamp another sentiment on there and emboss it. And then we're also going to cut out like this fern leaf here from Nature's Prints. So let's just grab that on a block, and we're just going to stamp in copper clay, right? So we're just keeping everything the one color. So, oh, so pretty. Stamp so nice. You've got all that lovely detail in there. And then we're going to cut it out with the matching dies. So when you've got dies, of course, some of them are detail shapes on their own, but some of them are meant to cut out the stamped image. So there's usually a mix of the two. And so I wanted to show you just, sometimes I don't show you all my die cutting, but it's so easy that you can do it too. I'm going to use my mini today. So it's 2 sizes, full size and the mini. And you just need plate 1, your cutting plate. And let's see if I can line this up. Sometimes I'm usually standing up, right, when I'm die cutting. So let's see if I can do this sitting down. There we go. So you make a little like E, I guess, when you put your plates through your mini. So they're kind of staggered like this, going backwards. And then your machine is going to pull through your plates and cut it out just right. And see if I can line this up. There's a little dot at the end, which you can like see the color through, and it helps you line it up, believe it or not. If I can get it to stay. Oh, it moved on me, but we'll just keep rolling here. Am I bending my card? Here. And then of course, the mini is nice and itty bitty, and we can just pack that up. And if you use up your plates, there's always refills, or not refills, more. You can buy more. Replacements. That's the word I want. I'm like, it's an R word. So we're going to use these, and we're going to stamp another sentiment. And this time I'm going to do a heartfelt thank you. That's this one here. And this is a really pretty stamp set. It's got good sentiments in it. That's perfect for a little set of note cards. So we're just going to emboss again. I thought today I would just show you how I do it. So you can use your embossing buddy. It just repels some of the extra powder. Ink up in your Versamark. Ink it down. And then get your powder on there. You can just give it a little tap, and then if you've got that excess, where'd I put my little brush? Here we go. I've got some excess down there. Should get everything. And then we'll heat set this one too. All right, what do we think of copper clay? It's pretty. I like it. I like the red tone to it. Okay, this just takes a second. There we go. Sorry for the noise there. Then we have our sentiment. And now we're going to put this together. So we're almost done, and then we'll show you the rest of the cards. So for the little ferns, we're just going to put some seal on the back. And then I kind of want them to do this. Kind of angled out. And then we're going to put this here. But first we're going to put some more twine. And then I'm going to show you another quick little tip. So I just got white. I don't have anything else in this color. You can just color the twine. Or if you've got white ribbon. So we'll grab our copper clay. And then just grab a blending brush, or you can use the blends, Stampin' Blends too, but I don't have any of them right now. But these little blending brushes are awesome. Okay, so there's the full size, and then these are the small ones. So cute. And they come in a set of 3. And then you just want to ink it up. And then I'm just going to brush it right onto my white twine. And then now I have perfectly matching embellishments. Amazing. Yeah, if you've got the Stampin' Blends, they color, like say you have rhinestones that are just like, you know, the basic silver or something white. You can use your blends to color them to get matching embellishments. And then, you know, you can just kind of make a little loop with a couple tails. I'm going to grab my glue dots again. I'm just going to stick it into my glue dot so it stays. But I've just kind of made one loop with 2 tails coming down. And use my dimensionals, of course. And then we'll put on those gems too. All right. And then we've got our matching dots, which are a little shiny. There we go. Okay, where'd my, oh, stuff just spreads when you're crafting, hey? I found it. It's like, where'd my milk folder go? It's hiding already. Gets buried. All right, and there's our second card. So here's our mauve. Here's our copper clay, and let's show you the rest, and then you can tell me which one's your favorite. So these are all with the Nature's Prints dies and stamp set. And so here's the boho blue. And so again, I just colored the twine with my blending brush. I just did a different stamp, different sentiment. This die comes from the Natural Prints die, so it comes with one label, which is nice. Then we've got the wild wheat. And so this one, I just stamped it on the white and I did the whole wreath, which is kind of fun. There's that one. And last but not least is the Pebbled Path. I like this one. So this is also from the All That dies. And you probably can't see it on the camera, but I added a little wink of Stella to this one too, just at the base of that image there. So there's our set of lovely 5 note cards in each of the in colors. And I'm just going to bring you back up here. So hopefully you liked seeing all the colors in action, and maybe like there's one that's starting to become your favorite maybe, or you're ready to try them out. I hope that you are excited about them, and they'll be all ready to purchase starting on May the 2nd, which is coming up so fast. I can't believe it's May. I am ready for May, people. We're done with snow, right? And yes, I hope you can come to my catalog launch, or you sign up for the out of town party packet, so you can still have some of the fun of creating the projects. And you're going to love the projects. We're making 4 make and takes, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So until next time, next week, I'm going to be showing you some sneak peeks of more fun products. And they're going to be cards offered as a card kit too. So you're not going to want to miss out on that. I will see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.